Good morning. I'm going to record one of my business's expenses, and I'd like to show you how I do that. So first, I will check the bank account to see what transactions went through, and I will adjust my spreadsheet with those data, and then I'll move on from there. So let's get started. And this business is an LLC, but mostly involved with investment. So that's an investment income type of business. And in fact, let me talk a little bit about that business before we move on to that, so you know why I'm doing that. We have different type of businesses, my husband and I, and this particular business that I'm going to record its expenses, it is an LLC. All my husband and my children are all shareholders, including myself as well. So it is an LLC, but we invest in property tax lien. It is an LLC that the goal of it is to invest in real estate, but we started with state property tax liens investments. So we are still doing it, and throughout the process, few years to it, we claim a deed on a property. So that property, we decided to rent it out, but it will require some major improvements. So we are going to save to do that, but we have other projects in mind at the moment. For that reason, the property is sitting, is now rented at this time, but we maintain it. We go there to mow lawns during summer, spring, summer, and we go there to plow snow or to remove snow during winter time. But we go there often. We try to do that, like go there like once a week, and sometimes more often than that or less, depending on what the situation is, just to keep an eye on the property. And we are in winter right now, and we have the heat running, the electricity and the heat running, so that we can keep the pipe from freezing. So yeah, we went there not too long ago to remove snow, just yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe, to remove snow. So we spend money every month on that property to maintain it. And I'm going to show you how we record those expenses for this type of business. And for this LLC with investment type of, this LLC that is an investment type of business, I classify that as a portfolio income when I file my taxes, and a lot of expenses are not deductible because we are holding the property for investments and we have now rented out. Yet those expenses to maintain the property are not really deductible, but we spend some money as well on some improvements that will go toward adjusted basis. When we start to rent it out, we are going to evaluate the value of the property at that time, so that will come into play. So those expenses that are more classified as assets or improvements are not really just to maintain the property, but are more like improvements. Those I'm classifying, I'm recording those expenses differently. So those will come into play when we are calculating the value of the property at the time that it's ready to be rented. So let's get started. I have my computer here. And first what I did, I check my bank account, the business account, to see if there is any recording there that I need to do. And I pay a bill online as well. So now we are on my spreadsheet that I like to use for my recording, and I like to just call this the journal entry, and I need to change this date to 2020. So I check the bank, and I know the amount at the start of the year, and one bill that we pay went through. So that's just pretty much what I need to do here. And I like to record this that I call double entry as well. And pretty much what I'm going to do here, and before I do anything here, I think what I'll do next is going to my account payable. And there are some expenses that they are not paid yet, so they flow into 2020. So I still have them here, and I have an expense that came and I have not recorded yet, and I just paid. So when I wanted to do this just once a month, when I come here I'll do all of it. Otherwise, if I got in before, I will record those information. So I believe the bill came in, I will just say at the end of December. And the amount is 146cc. The due date is 1/22/2020, and I just paid. So I just paid, and I'm going to put it here, the amount as well, 146cc. So this column here is, this column here is where I'll record the amount, the date due, and automatically I have a formula here that will show me the balance. So as you can see here, I have a property tax. The total amount was higher than that. We pay a part of it, and that's the remaining here. So now this one I pay off, I pay today, so that's why the balance due is 0. And I like to record my method of payment. That is going to be online, so I'm just going to write online here. date paid is going to be today, and the confirmation, I put it somewhere. Let's go look for it. Let me close this one here. I have the confirmation number here, and I'll put it here. So first I check the bank account to make sure that I have enough there to make this payment. And that's utilities, that's gas, electric on that property that I just talked about. So I went and I paid. So now that the account payable is done for it, we can just finish with the account payable. There is another here, that's water. A pipe broke. That's why when you have a proper receiving, it's good to visit us often as you can, once a week if it's not too far from you. A pipe broke in the bathroom and the water was pouring down when my husband went there to check, and has water in the bathroom, but luckily it didn't go past the bathroom. So we didn't know how much water we lost. And when the bill came, well, that gave us an idea where my husband was able to go in the basement and turn the water off in the bathroom. So we are waiting. Usually we pay about $19 a month for the water because we are now using water there. But now that the bill came is $177.95, we know that, yeah, it must have been a lot of water. And I think we didn't go there for like 2 weeks or something like that. It was right at the beginning of winter. So the due date is 2/05/2020, and I have not paid yet. So it's going to be sitting here, but at least I know that I recorded. And I believe it came, we can just put the 1st of January. I can just put the 2nd here. But yeah, it's good to know when your bills comes. In fact, it came well after that because they did the reading on the 3rd. So I can just put that. It does not really, it's not necessary the dates here, but if you are recording your expenses as they come, or you write the day you receive the mail on the envelope, that will help you fill up this if you are doing a few times during the month. So now that we have those, this is just telling me, the account payable is telling me people that I owe money to for the business, or people the business owe money to. So we have a property tax here that is due in March. So looking at this every month, I know that in March I should be paying this amount, or I should be paying it by March. And I have this here that I'm not even sure I'm going to pay, but it's just employee reimbursement account. So I will think about that. But since we are here, my husband purchased an envelope, and we use credit card, business credit card for it. So I'm just going to record it under this business credit card number here, and he made the purchase yesterday. So I think I'm just going to record it here. So that's credit cards, and I like to write down what that was about. Envelope could be 9x12, and the amount is $351. So date due, I still don't know. I check the credit card every month. I like to check the bank account. I like to check the credit card to make sure there is nothing to pay and there is no any fraudulent activities on the account. I have a video that I'll post on how my husband was scammed, and it took us months. It took us months to find out that somebody was spending his credit cards on multiple expenses that he was not aware of, and he was just paying it. Now that he paid most of them before we caught it, some of the credit card company didn't refund him for those activities. The one that he didn't pay, they canceled it, but the one he paid, well, they wanted to cancel it. They said they would refund him, but some of them didn't. And some of the activities that they canceled, the owner or the vendor claimed it back, and the credit card company put it back on his account. So I told him to call them back to let them know he didn't make those purchases, but I don't know if he did it. It's just so messed up situation, because what came after that was even worse than that. So yeah, so now that I have this here, I think I'm done with all the expenses that I know that I need to pay at some point. I went to the credit card account, but I didn't see the next payment date there, since I don't have anything there to pay. They don't have anything there. I haven't even seen this transaction yet. I see the credit limit that went down by that amount, but I didn't see the transaction has not gone through yet. So I'm just going to leave it blank for now, and I'm done with my account payable. I can just save it and get out of here. But now our next will be, since we have the utility spreadsheet open here, let me make a little bit, turn it into a table. Can just use probably a blue. Okay, so we have the dates. The date will be, let me put to date and see. And what I'm going to record, let me record the water first. So the provider, I'm just going to put CV of B, and the utility type is water, and the amount is 177.95. In fact, what I would like to do is, let me insert a row here where I can calculate the total. And the amount, so now we have the water. The due date is February 5th, and I have not paid, so I'm going to leave it like that. This confirmation number needs to get out of there, and I'm going to put the next one for the gas, because it comes with electricity as well. I like to split it here, that way it gives me an idea how much I'm spending in electricity, how much I'm spending in gas. So I'm just going to put here the provider, and I will put electricity, and this will be gas. And I'll grab my bill here. My electricity is 39.12, and the gas is 107.48, and that's something that is on my due list as well. I'm going to post a video on the property to just give you an idea, but yeah, the heating system is not up to my liking. So when we are improving the property, we will be addressing that issue as well, because the gas there is quite high. I think it needs to be improved. For no one using the property, we shouldn't be spending that much in December for gas. So I paid that already. It is due on the 22nd, and I made the payment today. And payment method I will say online as well. And the confirmation number is there. So that's just one way for me to be tracking those and to have a better idea what is going on, what needs to be addressed. And I will say that I'm done with my utility spreadsheet and I can even close out of this, but I think I will need a confirmation number. Maybe I should copy it. And now we are going back to my journal. Here, my double entry. So what I like to do here is I'll go to the date, and today I think I'll just put today date. First, what I did is, excuse me, I pay alien, so I will put it down, and the amount is 146cc. So that will come out of the account, my bank account. So I'll just put cash and I'll debit my bank account by 446cc here. And the confirmation number, I'll put it down here. And that is 0. And the way it is, I have the total calculating up, and my credit, my debit should match. That way I know that I'm recording things properly here. I have not really, for my tax purposes, I didn't really use this spreadsheet. I used my one entry journal, but the double entry was not really useful for my tax purposes. But I like to record things here during the year to track those expenses. So now I have, did I make any other? I purchased the envelope, the envelope that my husband purchased. I'm going to put it down as well. So what I will put, it will be 120, 20. And pretty much I'll put Chase and I'll credit. No, it's not Chase I should put. I can just put it could be office supply if I wanted to call it like that, or it could just be Walmart too. And I will just credit. I'll put office supply. Envelope. Oops. And I will just credit that account by 351, and my Chase I will debit it by 351. And when I pay my Chase, I will have the reverse. Chase and my bank account will come into play. Chase will be in credit and my bank account will be in debit. And so I'll just put it like that. When I made those payments, I can sometimes come back and put the day that it came out of my bank account. Otherwise, I just like to have one day there. And this is done as well. I have not paid the bond here, so I'm not going to do any recording. But I think that's pretty much what I need to do here. When I check the bank, I didn't see anything that needs to go here. I have expenses here, so I pay utilities. What I will do here is probably I like to start from the bottom, so maybe I should freeze the top bar. Let me freeze the total here. We'll go to view and freeze panel. Let's see, probably freeze row will have worked better. Yeah. Excuse me. Let me undo that. I like to see that total. Expense. Well, freeze. So I'm going to grab the row below that and freeze it again. Okay, so I like to start from the bottom. Even better, I can just add row as I go along as well. In fact, that's what I like to do. Excuse me. So I think I'll leave it like that for now. And we are at the bottom here, so I will go to the date. And the date is 1/21/20. And I'm not going to record my Chase purchase here. I will record Chase when I paid. I'll have to do one or the other. I can record the envelope purchase, or I can record Chase. So now we pay utilities here. So I have the gas that I just paid. It'll go under utilities 146.cc. And as you can see, I have the total for my total non-deductible expenses. That's this category I have in the same color as the total column for it. Then I have this section that is for improvement. That's the cost that goes in that column will be added to the basis of the property to calculate the adjusted basis of the property. And then we have the next column that is for the green column. The green column will total everything that is in the green rows with the green totals. So those are deductible. That will go on Schedule K and be distributed to shareholders. So now we have the electricity, the gas and electricity recorded here. And I think that's pretty much what I need to record here. So you can see that in the non-deductible side, I have repair, cleaning and maintenance. I have utilities, property tax, mileage reimbursed. Those, as long as the property is sitting and is not rented out, I won't be able to deduct those expenses, so they will be here. And that's pretty much it, what I need to do here at the moment. So we'll come down to this section. That should this spreadsheet track all my expenses during the year, and that's very useful coming tax time, because I have other spreadsheets that will fit into it. And the way this spreadsheet works, I just know expenses that I need to report on my taxes, and I like to use those titles to design my spreadsheet, to label the column and the rows. That way I know what expenses I need to record and where they should go on my tax form. Okay. So they should go on my tax form. So that's how I design, that's the idea behind this spreadsheet, and you can see that. Okay, so now let's move to the next sheet, and this sheet is the one that is really designed after tax forms to track those expenses that we just recorded here. So I have expenses from that section that will be recorded here as well. And the way I like to do it is under utilities here. Under utilities here, let me group, because I like to have my month started in a way that I don't have to go to the right month after month, but going to the left. So let me group some of those months here so that you can see the month of January. So I'll come here and I'll record my utilities that I just paid. So that would be 146.60. By the end of the year, my total from this spreadsheet should match my total from this area as well. And you should be seeing the total here. It should be matching my total as well here. And if we go back, I have utilities section here. So this utilities total at any time during the year should match my utilities total here as well. So that's how those two works. And then I have this section here that will summarize everything for the whole year. The one we just came from is summarizing by month, and this is going to summarize it by year. So it's fitting into that one, the monthly expenses sheet, and right away this expense is pulling to non-deductible section part of it. And this spreadsheet it has different components to it. Non-deductible side, the expenses that will go toward adjust the basis of the property, and the expenses that are deductible, including office supplies and all those, will go under this section. And in fact, the office supplies that we purchase, instead of recording chase, I think I'll be recording those expenses, because if I have made different expenses, I have paid chase, I have paid different type of expenses with chase, that will go in different categories. Then if I'm recording chase transaction, where am I going to record that? So I think one way of doing it is just to record every single expense that I pay with the credit card. Otherwise, when I'm I pay the credit card and I wanted to record the credit card payment, then I have to distribute the cost. I have to split the cost between the categories, making sure that the total that I'm recording, the total of all those distributed costs will match what I pay to Chase. So the way I'm going to do it here, since Chase will go under account payable and under the double entry as well, I think here I'm just going to record my expense and put down how I pay for it. So that means I can just put it here. It's going to be 1/20/20. That's when the purchase happened, but it's not going to be in this category. It's going to be a deductible one, so it's going to be in the green section here under supplies, and it's going to be 3.51. Then we can just get back out of there. You can see that you have the total here, and I can just go back and put how I pay for it. So I can just write down here Chase. That's that. So when I come back here on my monthly expenses, I need to go down to my deductible expense section, and under January I will put my 3.51, and if we go back to the expense summary, it should put it out for us, and that's the section here. And D38, so D38 is here. And I don't know if you notice it, what is going on, but this formula here needs to go all the way down. And now if we go back to our summary for the year, we will see that we have the 351 that flow back here as well. And that's pretty much what we need to do with our journal on a monthly basis. And now my next session will be to record mileage, and I can just save this and move out of it. And I'm done with this one. I can save it as well and move. And that's our mileage here. Well, the date, there was one that happened on the 3rd, and from Toyota to City of B, and they start mileage. And this business, as I said before, is an LLC but in investments. So that means a lot of your mileage may not be business deductible commute. So you will see how I'm going to do that. So my husband did those trips. So first he left the car dealership. I think he went for something for his car. From there he went to the city where the property is located, and from his Toyota place he recorded the mileage that he left there. So when he got to City of B, he recorded the mileage that he got there. So from the first spot to the entry where he's going to conduct business, I'm going to classify that as a commute, because the business is investment. You don't technically have an office at home, you can deduct, because you are not, the business is not classified as a business or a trade. It's an investment business or investment company. So that means the first, he went to that city for business purposes, but his first trip there is going to be commute, and that's 22 mileage. I have a formula here that is calculating it for me. So I'm going to write his name down here and note he went and paid water bill for, I can just put investment property 1, and the time was 12 p.m. to 12:27 p.m. So when he left the office, when he went to pay the bill, he made a stop on the property. From that city, from the water company to the property is business deductible. So I'm going to put the same dates. In fact, I don't like to write the dates when it's happening the same date, but why not? Let's just do that. So from city of B to 1 Ringgold, and the mileage was 70047 as a start, and when he got on the property, the mileage he wrote down here is a little bit confusing here. It is 70049, so that's 2 miles, and I'm going to put his names as well, and well, to check the property. And the time was 12:27 to 12:31 p.m. and the type of things I'm going to put business, and that's how I like to record those transactions for a business that does not have, it does have an office, but we cannot, assume it has a home office. The first trip to the business place will be commute, but from that stop to your next stop for business purposes is going to be business. Now from that place home is going to be commute. So for the same dates, from 1 Ringgold to home is commute, and the mileage is 70049 to 70072. His name, can just put went home. And 12:31 p.m. to 1:02 p.m. And my next one is going to be on the 8th, no, not 8th, 18. So we went there after Mass to clean snows from the sidewalk. So we put here from St. Thomas to 1 ring gold, and the mileage was 7417, and we went there at 7434. The total mileage was 17, and that's the whole family, so that means that's all shareholders. So I'm going to put all 5 shareholders. And the note, snow removal, snow, shovel snow, you can just put shoveled. Snow. And from, see here, 10:07 a.m. we work from 10:32 a.m. to 11:04. And then we came home, so that is going to be a commute. And we came home, that will be a commute. So that trip to go there and actually work, we are going to record our working time. This working time here is going to tell us the working times here is going to tell us what we did and the amount of time we spent working on the business, but we cannot deduct the mileage here because it's commute. So now we came home, and I'm just going to put it down as well. So on the 18, 1 ring gold to home, the mileage was 7434 to start, and we got home 7449, 15 miles. All shareholders. And we left there at 11:04. And we got home at 11:22. 11:27. That's how I record my mileage. And at the end of the month, I have another spreadsheet here, and I can just wipe out what I have there from last year. But I have a spreadsheet here that I need to fill up with what I've been putting there, because the template, this one is just going to be January. So the total from this mileage here, section here, is going to be, if I will enter a row at the top or at the bottom to calculate the total here, and I will just connect it to this section here to calculate the business mileage, the commute mileage, and if I applied 50 cents a mile to wait how much it is. That's how I calculate the reimbursed amount that that the business need to pay back to my husband for using the car for business purposes. That's how I track our mileage for each one of our businesses, and this one, especially this investment company, that's how I track its mileage, because my husband work a lot on it by doing those trips and doing those cleaning, and that's pretty much it. And I think I'll be doing some videos to just talk I'll be making videos to talk about how to invest in property tax lien. I need to make a list of all those type of videos that I like to share with you, for you to see how you can put your money to work. That's why I make a lot of video to show you how you should decrease your expenses so that you have enough left out of your hard working money, and then you can put that money to work through your side business or investment. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojuna Marinenet Liberman, creators of Marinenet Liberman's YouTube channel and owners of Nina Soap. And my website is ninasoap.com. Record your business expenses on a regular basis, and at the end of the year, you will be able to file your taxes easily by yourself, or even if you hire an accountant to do it for you, you'll have all your expenses in order for him to claim the right deduction for you. Or even if you cannot use the IRS tax form to file your taxes yourself, you want to use a tax software, you'll be able to do that as well, using a tax software to file your business taxes, and it'll be easy to do if you are tracking your expenses. I'm now using an accounting software at the moment for my business, so if you